And what I want to do today is to explain a little bit more in detail um, about this diagram than in the last video, and explain some practices that are related to it. And yeah, kind of new at this, so bear with me. A lot of things here that I'm just I'm just real new to this sort of thing. But there's some things I do know. So we're going to be talking about uh, today again empathetic inner mind communication. Now, your mystic self is your self that engages in this kind of communication using empathy. This outside triangle is your higher empathetic self. And essentially, eh, pretty much the artist here at the top, uh, that's the creator of all you imagine, including yourself and anybody you imagine and anything you imagine. It's your brain. At least that. I don't talk about things that are outside of reason when all I have to do is get you to practice things and find out going. But so the artist is what creates your world, your universe. It's up above your dramatic timeline. And you can envision that it's your personification of your brain, of that part of you that is the whole of you, that is the creator of all you perceive, and the filter that you have between you and unimaginable reality, um, through your senses and so on. So it's you can talk to it, okay? You can talk to it as your inner triangle self, your kid, your um, inner child with language. And okay, so and the way that communication works is that your inner artist creates different. We're talking about this interchange right here. It's your it's you creating your own inner guided meditation. Um, that fits um, with your uh, requests or what uh, or in response to things that you tell to the artist, like what's going on in your life and so on. And but it responds with guided meditation. And that's the technique that we employ, those who follow my technique employ to get to deeper meaning within yourself, and to create new positive memories, and to change, well, not change, but return a negative memory into one that's um, has some comfort there, some some encouraging love. Um, an example of that, to make that a little more plain, is and nothing in this system is geared toward just looking at the trauma in your life, although it can help you with. It's geared toward tapping into your abilities within the limits of your comfort zone, and that automatically occurs with the practices that we talk about here. Um, so it's a guided meditation technique. And the example I was going to give is Ruth Carter Stapleton, Jimmy Carter's little sister, long ago. Um, and she said she had this gift of inner healing. And so people would come to her and give her what it is that was bothering them. And she would create um, uh, an imaginary experience um, to help them. And so she's playing the role of what I call your inner artist. And this inner artist is very powerful. Now, one example of how she used this was with a young lady who said that as a child she had a burglary in her home, and she was frightened and under the bed, and said that that memory like haunted her. I assume, in other words, it bothered her. And so Ruth, according to the book she wrote, called The Gift of Inner Healing, out of print now. But she told her that, to relive the situation with her under the bed, but this time with Jesus, a comforting figure under the bed with her, holding her hand, saying, everything's going to be all right. So that had marvelous effects. And so that's what you're doing when you're right here at the top. You see this? Um, Between this inner triangle, which is your kid self, your dramatic self experiencing in language form, at a from a perspective which includes language. That level of development, experiencing the drama of your life. And so this communication right here is what I gave an example of. All right, now the artist, being your brain, um, and the imaginer of all you imagine, is able to be outside of your dramatic timeline. So, in a sense, it is an experience of timelessness, um, kind of a part of you that can enjoy the whole story of your life. Okay, your whole story of your life, um, as like that part of you is watching a movie. You hear about what these near death experiences that have been told about or recounted, um, involve this sense of an odd sense of time, a timelessness. Time not like what I experience. That's because they're getting outside of the drama and observing it. And from that perspective, it's a good read. It's a good movie. So your artist is always in a positive place at all times. And so there you have this communication. Um, Now let's go down here to the inner caregiver. The inner caregiver is actually the artist dropping down with empathy into your timeline, your dramatic timeline, to help you with your ability to relive your feelings, um, to uh, love with compassion, which I call um, compassionate empathy. Compassionate empathy is what allows you to feel it's a safe space. You're giving space with your compassion. You're giving space, the love, and you're giving love. So, in a sharing of the other person's feelings or your own feelings from a different perspective, um, you're sharing those, and that in a caring way. So that helps a person to express and resolve feelings that they may be having or that they had in the past that, obviously weren't resolved or weren't picked up on. They're positive things that you you experience in your life, and maybe you didn't quite feel them at the time, you know, and there's a chance later to feel them, like people reaching out to love you at a kind of bad time, and you couldn't really receive that. So in this communication, you can relive that and incorporate that into your life, and also deal with well, it's feelingly oriented. Everything in the system, all about you, and from different perspectives. Um, how you do this is that You just envision people that you care about, who you should care about, and people who care about you or should care about you, this past or present. Um, so this arm of the your inner artist into your dramatic timeline is placed in the past. It's, you know, the communication is from the present. Your kid looking into the past and resolving the past. So that's why I say it's in the past. It's from the present. It resolves things from the present, looking into the past. I should say, and looking into the past. Whereas on the other side over here is your inner artist reaching into your future and your experience, your dramatic experience. You know, your worries about the future and what should I do next. That's your inner counselor. And it's from, deals with a perspective from the moment that you're in and looking forward. Now, in this situation, when you discuss the past, you discuss it as the past. You're not resolving feelings related to the past. You're just understanding what happened to you. Um, and it's all about, being objective. And so that objectivity takes you is all about communication from your present situation or feelings into the future, how you feel about that, what you might need to do next. A very important thing to do, and most of your talking therapies, and I know of a lot of them only do that. Is that. To do that, you picture yourself, if you will, the kid, the knowledge capable kid in you is can be pictured as yourself at about 6 years of age, and that self communicates with the adult, more uh, intellectual, objective you, and but that objectivity from your counselor, of course, involves also empathy, a sharing of your feelings. And the importance of empathy is that it gives a kind of comfort. Um, and the thing that the form of empathy gives a challenge to that comfort in a positive kind of way. So this has over here on the left, I guess that would be the left on your screen, yeah, is the compassion, and it's challenging, You use compassion. It's a skill, and it's a bit of a challenge to just leaving things alone. Um, but it gives you, all of these things give you a certain kind of comfortable distance, so that when you're experiencing these things, you're not absorbed into it. You know, your inner mystic, the mystic in you that practices these things is always there. Um, and so if the doorbell rings, you're not trapped into any of these processes. You can get up and answer the doorbell and deal with whatever's going on around you. If you can't do that, then you're going to need some professional therapy. It's always good to have someone helping you with this sort of thing, but in a case like that, you really need to seek out a professional therapist who uses empathy in these ways, at the least. And some of them don't get this inner triangle. Um, there's an infant self in you. So we're moving now. We've gone from this higher self, which is the outside triangle, higher self of empathy. And now and it's communication with the inner kid. So now we're moving to that center, uh, smallest triangle. And that's what I call your infant mind. And it doesn't exactly communicate these arrows. It doesn't exactly communicate with the language kid in you, but the resonance is there. There's a certain resonance. And so play um, is at the root of what develops as a child, as a language capable child, into the ability to create play. So play evolves into creativity. You see, play, your creative empathy. Um, focus evolves into objectivity. Um, we're talking again to remind you that all of these things are about what you're feeling and how to fully embrace in a loving way uh, your life. Now, down here, the expression, your ability to express feeling, is helped by what it evolves into in the language level um, as compassion. Compassion is what makes it safe to express your feeling. So these also have each one of them a particular practice within this system. Hmm. Play, if you're at play with your feelings, that's that means that you need to, you're being playful. It's not a thought out thing. Um, and the system that the practice that's used in this system is to create sound that has feeling in it, but doesn't have language, so that you're staying in the play connection to yourself, which connects to your infant mind, which is um, a point in you where there's no ego. There's no, your infant mind doesn't really have a self concept. And as you reflect onto that state of the infant mind in yourself, you'll have these kind of feelings like I don't have this continuous, unchanging self going on, kind of a Buddhist. You'll have this sense of, wow, I could be just about anything, you know. I mean, I could make it up. It's your reflection on not having a self concept, and all of these are ego transcendent in a sense. In fact, love is ego transcendent. What? Um, Now with expression, it's oh me, pardon. I have not a lot of available time to do some of this, so sometimes I'm tired. I'm sorry. I hope that you can still get something out. Um, but how do you do this play thing? It's playfulness with sound, and it can be musical or it can just be spoken. Um, so you're creating various sounds. You're being playful. That's a kind of, you get the vibe. There's a kind of feeling involved there, but there's no language attached. And you can also make it musical. You can sing the sounds you create, which is another kind of power. And like somebody singing the blues, yeah, or joyful. It can be positive like that. Um, and that gets you in touch with your feelings, negative or positive, in a way that doesn't involve language. And that's how we practice that. Pretty easy. Um, I started to go over to expression, but I want to deal with focus. It's something that a lot of people are familiar with nowadays. They call it mindfulness, but it's a mindfulness of your feelings and your emotional and physical feelings. And what you do is you focus real hard on feelings or the general feeling of your whole body, and you focus on that. And then you let it go, and you focus on whatever next pops into your experience. And so that has a number of different uses, and it can be helpful if you use focus to even deal with some physical pain. I found it very useful. If you're focused on it, well, you're not allowing yourself to be anxious or fearful about the situation, so you can handle the pain a little bit better. In fact, it may, in some cases, I found that it brings a bit of your natural endorphins into your hurt. So that's good. And it can be negative or positive. whatever you sense you need. And trust that. Healthy people, and you can trust that most of the time. Not saying diagnose yourself or that you'll necessarily feel anything when you have a disease. Go to the doctor. You need outside perspectives in your life, and these communications can be between yourself and others as well. These roles and getting the vibe of another person. Now, expressing feeling. Ever see a kid going, ow, ow, ow? Well, that actually is helping the kid deal with the pain. Um, and you ever hear somebody, looking at, really enjoying something like, hmm, ooh, yeah. Well, what's done in this system, if you're going to use the power of your expression without language, is use the sounds ah, ooh, and or ow, and you can do it slow, you can do it fast, and again, it can be positive or it can be negative, whatever helps comfort you. Everything here is an attempt to comfort yourself, but you're being challenged by the process itself. It's not that you're pushing yourself or trying to challenge yourself. You're not. You're just using the system, and system will challenge you as you use the system to comfort yourself. That's the way that works. So here with expression, uh, I've noticed that, as I go use that, I'm doing it very quickly. Oh, 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 whatever. It will take me more to a totally language free expression. But if I say, ah, oh, you know, and I'm dealing with something negative, that taps, resonates with my inner kid language. And I end up calling out for my mom. Something going on there. Yeah. Well, feelings need to be felt and resolved. And it's a constant practice going on. That's just the path of the mystic, embracing these kinds of communication. And this pretty much explains empathetic inner mind communication and its practices. Um, if you can get good professional help, well, that's always a great blessing, but it can be very expensive. Um, so sometimes if there are people, who can train you in this, who's experienced this themselves, that should be the case of any the best therapists that they do this. There's an example in this book. Let's see if I can get you a picture here. I hope you can see this. Okay. Now this is good, really good book. I endorse it. I haven't been asked to endorse it, and pay to endorse this, so you can really trust it. Okay, trust what I'm saying, at least my honesty about it. No reason to endorse something I don't like for for free. Um, it's called the Invisible Self: Broken Childhood Primal Healing. It's by Michelle Taja Miller, and I noticed that, and she's recounting her life and her damaged faith and love is what I call it. Some call it primal pain. Some people call it trauma or CPTSD, ACEs, adverse childhood experiences. I just lump it all together and say it's damaged faith and love. And it can be something that happens before you have language. That's pretty tough. Notice that her therapist was a good one. Why? Because he was using the three forms of empathy, which I think is absolutely essential. I It seems that with resonance alone, you can tap into that non-language level, and some people want to do it that way, and that's fine. Um, you certainly don't want to force anybody to do anything. It's their gateway, their comfort zone that has to be considered, and but they should try the different perspectives and practice. But how much they do it, how often they do it, it's to do with how much of an impact it's making. So, you know, keep to your comfort. If there's ever a problem, it's emotional. Um, yeah, there's a lot of trauma therapists out there doing various things that are probably helpful. This is everything I'm talking about is it's an inner communication, so it's a kind of meditative kind of approach, you might say, because it's internal. But it's also a philosophy uh, that goes into how we should do politics, how, you know, how we see the family structure, and how we see um, the social structure. And it goes into concepts of what I call wise freedom. Wise freedom is a balance of these perspectives in society and ourselves, between us. These things work together. Improving any of them tends to help you improve the others. So that's good. That's not saying that some people that are have chemical imbalances, depression. That's outside of this scope. Um, here, when you've got a disease like that, which is biochemical in nature, you need to look into that from that perspective. Um, Again, see a professional. But this stuff here, this is what the mystics uh, teach. You know, there are different kind of practices used. These are the ones that I've found very helpful, and you know, test it out. What's right for you? The channel is not just about this kind of communication. It's about communication in society, and in politics. Our resident professional in politics, hopefully we'll get more and more people like me who are advancing forms of inner mind communication they've found out. So I'd like to encourage everybody. This is about spreading a kind of love around the world. So no matter where you're from or who you are, um, we hope that you'll subscribe to the channel, uh, share the videos you like, comment, please, and like the videos that you like. So we hope that you will join our team this way. And then at some point, if you are a subscriber, you may be invited to come on to our occasional Zoom call. All right. So I hope you're having a wonderful day. And for now, I'm going to close this. I hope that there will be more uh, other languages and so on to express these things. And well, we'll see. Next time, I'm going to be talking about these practices, as they relate to family structures and social structure and politics. So stay tuned and have a wonderful day.